Welcome back to Narrations. Tonight's story is not a cozy Thanksgiving tale. It's not warm or whimsical. It's something quieter, heavier, painfully human. It's about a woman fighting the ghosts of her past, the family she hopes will forgive her, and the single holiday that forces everything she has tried to bury back into the light. This is Krisha, 2015, a raw, intimate portrait of addiction, regret, and the desperate hope for redemption. The film begins with Krisha, a woman in her 60s, standing alone in a driveway as the morning sun fills the sky behind her. She looks fragile yet determined, a woman who has built her courage piece by piece just to knock on a family door she hasn't opened in years. Her handwritten note says she's been clean. She's ready. She wants to be part of the family again. But the fear in her eyes says something else. She knows she might not be welcomed. As she steps inside the Thanksgiving house, bright, loud, filled with voices, Krisha is swallowed by an ocean of family energy. Her relatives greet her warmly but cautiously. Hugs that are kind, but not trusting. Smiles that are polite, but not sure. The air is thick with history. She meets her sister, Robin, motherly, calm, the anchor of the house. She meets her brother-in-law, Doyle, blunt, observant, not easily convinced. She meets nieces, nephews, cousins, all living normal lives in sharp contrast to Krisha's turbulent past. And then she sees him. Trey. Her son. Now a young adult, quiet, distant, expression unreadable. Krisha's breath catches. This is the reunion she fears most. She steps toward him, offering a fragile smile, but he barely makes eye contact. "Hey," he says softly. She whispers back, "Hey, sweetheart." It is a moment full of emotion, but cold, cautious, fragile in the worst way. The camera lingers on Krisha's face, and in her eyes, we see everything: the years lost, the guilt she carries, the hope she still clings to. She wants to be better. She wants to belong. She wants her son to see her as something other than the chaos she once brought into his childhood. But as Thanksgiving morning unfolds, the family energy intensifies: laughter, football, cooking, old stories, teasing, and busy movement everywhere. Krisha floats through it like an outsider, wanting desperately to join, yet always slightly out of rhythm. She volunteers to cook the entire Thanksgiving turkey, a gesture to prove she can contribute, that she can be trusted, that she can give something meaningful. She insists she's capable. She insists she's steady now. She insists she's here to help. But beneath her smile, tiny cracks begin to appear. She wanders upstairs, staring at old photos. She whispers into mirrors, reminding herself to stay calm. She practices conversations before speaking them. She touches old memories with trembling fingers. The camera follows her closely, almost claustrophobically, because this story isn't about the family. It's about her inner storm. Downstairs, Trey avoids her. He laughs with his cousins, watches football with Doyle, helps his aunt, anything to avoid meeting his mother's eyes for too long. Every time Krisha glances at him, her face softens with hope and breaks with fear. She wants to say so much. She wants to ask for forgiveness. She wants to hug him tight and promise she'll never leave again. But she says nothing, because she doesn't know how. Because she's afraid any wrong word will shatter the tiny bridge she's barely begun to rebuild. The tension slowly coils inside her chest. The day buzzes around her, dogs barking, relatives playing games, people laughing in rooms she doesn't feel part of. She suddenly feels small in a house that carries so much of her history. Then tiny triggers appear. A relative makes a joke about her being the wandering aunt. Someone else asks, too casually, "How long you been clean this time?" A bottle of wine gets uncorked in the kitchen. Her hands tremble. She escapes outside for air, heart pounding, mind racing, whispering to herself like she's trying to hold the pieces together with sheer force. "I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay." But inside the house, a storm is building. A subtle one. The kind made of unspoken resentment, of old wounds, of family members who smile but never forget. Doyle corners her in the kitchen. He's not cruel, he's brutally honest. People are glad you're here, he says flatly. But they're also waiting. Wondering which version of you came today. Krisha freezes. Her breath catches. The comment slices deeper than Doyle intends. I'm trying, she whispers. He nods, not unkindly, but without faith. The weight of expectation crushes her from all sides. By trying so hard to appear perfect, she begins unraveling inside. Her son avoids her eyes. Her sister worries quietly. Her confidence fades. Her smile cracks at the edges. And behind every shaky breath, we see the truth. Krisha isn't just fighting for acceptance. She's fighting herself. And the moment one tiny thing goes wrong, one turkey timer, one slip of memory, one careless comment, everything she's trying to hold together will begin slipping through her fingers. Thanksgiving is a fragile holiday for everyone. But for Krisha, it is the day she risks losing everything all over again. Krisha was trying to hold herself together inside a Thanksgiving house full of warmth, noise, memories, and people she loves, even when those same people remind her of every mistake she ever made. And as the day unfolds, the cracks inside her begin to spread. Downstairs, the family laughter grows louder. Football blares in the background. Casseroles fill the counter. Everyone moves in circles of comfort that Krisha can't find her way into. Meanwhile, she clings to one lifeline, the Thanksgiving turkey she's cooking. It's her chance to prove she can contribute, that she's stable, that she has changed. But the pressure builds. She checks the oven too often. Her hands tremble when she chops vegetables. She keeps rereading the recipe because her mind keeps drifting away. The family thinks she's doing fine. They have no idea she's spiraling. Upstairs, she steals a moment alone in the bathroom mirror. Her breath is shallow. Her eyes fill with panic. She whispers to herself again. You're okay. You're okay. Hold it together. But downstairs, Trey is laughing in the living room, loud, free, unaware that every sound of his joy feels like a reminder of the years she wasn't there to witness it. Krisha decides she can't take it anymore. She needs to reach out before the day ends in silence. She corners Trey in the hallway. Can we talk? She whispers. He hesitates, stiff, guarded, but follows her outside. The backyard is quiet, leaves blowing across the grass in soft spirals. Krisha forces a smile. I'm working hard, sweetheart. I'm different now. I want to be part of your life, if you'll let me. Trey's face fractures with a complicated mix of love and hurt. He says softly, I don't know who you are. The words hit like a blow. Krisha nods, more tears than breath. I know I wasn't there. I know I failed you. But I love you. I always have. His eyes flicker. He doesn't know how to respond. He's a young man who grew up without the mother he needed, and now she stands before him fragile and trembling, asking for a future he's not ready to give. I can't pretend it didn't happen, he says gently. Krisha folds inward. She whispers, I'm sorry. But the sadness in Trey's eyes tells her that sorry isn't enough. Not today. Not after everything. She walks back inside broken. And that is when everything starts to fall apart. The turkey burns. Smoke pours out of the oven. Chaos erupts in the kitchen. Krisha panics, shouting, slamming the oven door, screaming at herself, at the smoke, at the family who crowds around her. Robin tries to calm her, but Krisha yells, I was trying to do something good. The family steps back, unsettled. Krisha storms upstairs again, and this time, she doesn't whisper affirmations. She screams silently into her own reflection. Then she opens a drawer. Inside it lies a bottle of wine, forgotten, hidden, maybe left by someone else. She stares at it like it's a lifeline. Her hand shakes violently as she lifts it. And she drinks. A long, desperate swallow. Another. Then another. The relief is instant, warm, numbing, familiar. Her mind softens. Her panic dissolves. The weight lifts. But the consequences rush in even faster. She goes downstairs, eyes glassy, words slurring, movements loose and erratic. The family notices immediately. Robin whispers, "Oh no." Doyle's expression hardens. The room slows as Krisha tries to join a conversation, but instead disrupts it, laughing too loud, saying the wrong things, bumping into furniture, spilling drinks. Her relapse spills into the open. Trey sees her, and something inside him snaps shut. He stands silently, and walks away without looking back. This breaks her more than anything else. Krisha tries to follow him, calling out his name. He doesn't stop. He doesn't turn around. Her voice shatters into sobs. She's losing him all over again. Robin steps in gently, trying to guide her to a bedroom. But Krisha, filled with alcohol and heartbreak, lashes out, shouting, sobbing, shaking, insisting she's fine even as her world collapses. The house full of relatives watch in silent devastation. They've seen this before. They hope they never would again. Krisha stumbles into the dining room, where the Thanksgiving feast is perfectly laid out. Pies. Turkey. Plates. Glasses. Everything warm and festive. She reaches for the table, and collapses, sending everything crashing to the floor in one terrible moment. Dishes shatter. Food spills. The entire feast lies ruined. She lies in the middle of it, sobbing uncontrollably, surrounded by broken glass and broken expectations. Robin kneels beside her, tears in her eyes but steady. "Krisha, please. Let us help you." Krisha claws at her own hair, screaming. I tried so hard. Why can't I just be good? Why can't I get it right?" The room fills with quiet grief. Later, as the guests leave and the family picks up the ruined pieces of the dinner, Krisha sits alone in an upstairs room, staring at nothing. Her eyes are empty. Her body still. Her spirit crushed. Trey whispers something from the doorway, a soft, broken, "Mom!" She turns, hope flickering, but he doesn't enter. He just watches her with sadness and confusion, then walks away again. Not angry. Just hurt beyond words. That night, the house grows silent. The lights dim. Krisha wanders outside, alone in the dark, surrounded by shadows of what could have been. The last shot stays on her face, devastated, exhausted, full of a longing she may never heal. And we understand, Krisha is not a story about failure. It's a story about how hard it is to escape the versions of ourselves we once were. How fragile recovery can be. How powerful forgiveness is, and how painful it is when it doesn't arrive. It's about a woman who wanted desperately to be loved again, but couldn't outrun the demons she thought she buried. And it ends not with resolution, but with truth. Hard, human, heartbreaking truth. If you appreciated this narration, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Narrations, where stories are told with empathy, honesty, and heart.